Good afternoon, morning, evening, wherever the heck in the world you are. You know what time it is. It's Tuesday. It's around 2 something on the eastern seaboard. And if it's Tuesday and it's 2 something, you know it's time for the Trading Terrordome with my man Dex, aka the Algocapitalist. He's here to break down the markets, tell you about what the algos are doing, and probably give us a heads up on what else is around the corner because if you've been following this program for a while, Dex has been on the money. It's been kind of scary. The track record has been kind of frightening. With that being said, Dex, what's going on?
Well, I'm doing today's broadcast butt naked.
I
I'm
like
hoping
that.
that's okay.
That's cool.
Um,
I have a bottle of Vaseline next to me.
we are just gross, ain't we? That's how you know.
Sorry, sorry.
That's how you know we're tired, right?
Yeah,
Um,
man.
Actually, no. The weekend was great. It's good to be back in the saddle, and I'm just trying to get myself back together again, like Humpty Dumpty. You know those vacations do that to you because you be chilling,
Yep.
and you're not doing business, you're not thinking about nothing, and you're just off.
Yeah, man.
So I'm trying to get myself back on, you know what I mean? But some good news though. Thank you to one of our subscribers in the premium trading room, hooked me up with a source to get data directly from the exchange for the Ethereum and the Litecoin. So they will be added shortly to the weekly post wave price triggers. Yay!
Wow.
Yep.
Nice.
Finally got the data source. I knew if I put it out there that somebody would figure it out.
And
And
they did.
boy, did they. So, yes, I will have access to that data. So, I will be able to add it. So, now with all those questions you guys had about what about Ethereum? What about Ethereum? Well, now I'll be able to answer those questions for you. So, I'm in the
That's
process of
what's
doing that
up.
today. Lord willing, I'll have it done by the end of the day. And then it'll be on point for tomorrow and tomorrow's pre-market post game.
Yeah, man.
That's what's up.
That's
Other
what's
than
up.
that,
That's what's
man,
going on.
ain't nothing going on. It was quiet on yesterday. As you know, equities were closed, but
Yep.
the futures were open for business, and they traded a little bit. But it was quiet. It wasn't. It's not a lot going on.
No.
Um, it's even quiet today. It's really nothing to really talk about. Um, and no,
Well, did you hear
Bitcoin
about
is
the hedge
not
fund in
bottom.
Australia?
Yeah, I was just about to
Did
get
you hear?
into that, but real quick, no, before
Go ahead,
everybody
bring it.
asks, no, Bitcoin is not bottom. No, no, it has not bottomed.
Yep.
One last time, no, Bitcoin is not bottomed. I know you like to
Far,
hear that,
far from it.
but I'm sorry, I cannot co-sign on that right now. The charts are saying something totally different. Not even looking at what the algos are saying. I'm just telling you straight up what the charts are saying. The chart is saying no. We have
Yeah.
not bottomed. I think we are possibly putting in a bottom. We're in a bottoming process, but to say the bottom is in is incorrect. In order to
Right.
say that the bottom is in, we need to be putting in new highs, and we're not. So,
Right.
with that being said, we have a dead cat bounce off of the lows. That's what you call. That's how you call that. As far as the hedge fund thing, yes, I have it in my feed. As far as my news sources, I'm just slowly getting through all of those today. But yeah, I heard that some hedge funds are closing up shop again. This is reminiscent of 2008
Yes,
when
they
they
are.
were closing their doors,
Giving
saying,
money back actually this time around, Dex. Giving money back to the investors.
well, yeah, they did that in '08 too. They
Yep.
did that. They totally liquidated. A couple of them were in profit when they did it. They forced everyone to take profits and suffer the tax consequences. They said, we're closing up shop. We're out of business. We can't make no money anymore.
I mean, what does that say for the average person? Break that down to the individual. When a hedge fund says there's just no more money to be made, we can no longer squeeze blood from a stone safely. What does that mean for the average investor, man?
It means that you're in a situation where you can make a lot of money. Straight up. And that's my answer. All right, first of all, this is what you need to know. All right. Hedge funds, just because they have the word hedge and fund in the name and the title, doesn't mean it's really a hedge fund. and it doesn't mean that they're actually making their profits by trading.
Right.
Okay, people like to play name games. You got private equity funds, you got hedge funds, venture capital funds. There's a billion different funds, but it
Mm.
doesn't mean that they're true to their name and their form. The only funds out there that have to be are mutual funds because they operate under a different set of banking laws and rules. They can't short the market. They have to have a certain amount of that money in the market at all times. Means they have to be long even during bear markets. I mean, this is all kinds of weird stuff. That's why mutual funds are whack. Back during the 90s, they were the thing to be in because all stocks were going up.
Mhm.
Now that's not necessarily the case. So with that being said, traditionally a hedge fund is unlike a mutual fund. It's analogous to a mutual fund in that they can invest in stocks like a mutual fund does, but a hedge fund has the ability, because it's unregulated, to go long and short stocks. They can trade commodity futures. They can trade forex. They can trade now Bitcoin, Litecoin. They can trade anything that is in their rules and bylaws that says that they can trade. All
Yeah.
right, and
Right.
it's just that simple. They can invest in real estate, physical, actual real estate. They can buy office buildings. They can do venture capitalism. They can do all types of things. So they're not limited like a mutual fund is. So if you hear that hedge funds are closing up shop, it, it doesn't really mean too much, except for you want to know what kind of fund was it and what were they doing, if that is generally disclosed. And most of it is to the general public, unless they're closed and they're not taking any more money and they're not holding themselves out to the public anymore, then you may not know what they're doing or have done. So, with that being said, in a nutshell, if you think that a whole bunch of hedge funds closing up and doing mad redemptions is a bad thing, it depends on the situation. But for the most part, the said funds in question, the
Yeah.
reason they're closing up and leave and doing all these redemptions while the market is still high is because there has been some type of a change, if you will, or some type of a loophole that is closed or is closing that will make it so that they can no longer exploit these situations that the government has allowed them to exploit, meaning that they can no longer make money because they don't make money traditionally by trading. Not saying that they don't, but most of them don't. A lot of hedge funds don't trade like we do, like the retail investor does. They try to be a Warren Buffett. And Warren Buffett has, decades of relationships that enable him to do what he does. He has relationships. All right, not just money, but he has relationships. You can be rich as all get out, but if you don't have the right relationships, then you still not gonna be able to do what you want to do. Notice how he was the only one back in 2008 that was able to get that structured deal with Goldman Sachs the way he did. No other human being on the planet was able to participate in that deal. Only him. And you know what? He made a lot of money. He lost some in the process, but at the end of the game, at the end of the day, he made his money. So because of his relationships, he's able to do that. All
Hmm.
right. You and I cannot do that because we don't have the right relationships. Even if we had the right money, if you don't have the right relationships, they will tell you to go jump in the lake. All right. So these hedge funds that are closing up their doors, some of them had the right relationships that allowed them to take advantage of certain anomalies and exploit those anomalies based on the infrastructure of the markets. Because those infrastructures are changing and becoming more algorithmic in nature, a lot of the old heads feel uncomfortable in that environment and they know they cannot compete long term in that environment. So they're closing up shop and saying, I'm out of here. I made some money. I'm out of here. I'm going to go play golf or do what or buy an island. And rightfully so. I'm telling you, most people cannot make it in today's environment. It's not that the markets themselves have changed, it's just the nature in which we interact with these markets that has changed.
Yep.
So to me, it's proof, it's testimony of what I've been saying all along. That unless you understand the algorithms, unless you have an exploit for these algorithms, then you cannot win. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if you're trading in the paper metals markets or if you're in the gold and silver miners. The computer's going to destroy you. Even if you're right, you can get your face ripped off.
Sure.
All right. And that's what I've been telling people. That's why you got to come to pulsewavetrading.com, baby. Come and get this money. That's all I can say. You know, why do you think so many people on YouTube don't like me? They hate me because they
Why don't
can't
they
do
like
what
you?
I do. They can't. They cannot do what I do. And I put my money on the line every day when I make my videos and I come on your show, and I tell people politely and with love what's happening with the markets and what's about to possibly happen with these markets. And
You
when
know
I'm
what it is?
right, they hate it.
You're not scaring
And what
people,
I've
man.
been
That's the
saying
problem.
is not lovely to a lot of people. So there was something else I was about to say, and I lost my train of thought. Hmm. Oh, okay. Someone just said in the live chat, they talked about these golden crosses. All right. I don't know how to say this kindly and politely, but um, your golden crosses are unreliable. Basic technical analysis is unreliable. Basically, what a golden cross is, it's two moving averages crossing each other. First of all, the problem with moving averages is that they are lagging indicators. That's number one. Number two, there have been numerous times where you've had golden crosses and death crosses only for the market to make new highs or new lows on you. And then at the end, you're left saying, what say ye? How is this possible? The market just made a death cross. Why is it hitting new highs? We just had a golden cross. Why are we hitting new lows? It's more than just two moving averages crossing each other. If it were that simple, then you wouldn't need algorithms. All you would need is to have two moving averages and look for this golden cross or this death cross, put all your money in and go all in. Doesn't work that way. Two moving averages is the basic system building 101.
Yeah.
That's old traditional school. All rookies get play the moving average game, and your hit maybe 0.12% of the time, maybe. So someone just said markets are based on psychology, not fundamentals. No, that's not true. Markets are based on psychology and they're based on fundamentals. The problem is the psychology has been pre-programmed because it's a computer. The fundamentals have also been massaged because they're lies. All those earnings reports and companies' financials are lies. Lies, lies, and more lies. How you gonna work with that? You can't. Where's your proof? You're just talking. All right, I'll give you the most famous proof that I have for the fundamental argument that I just stated. Jim Cramer, back in 2007, 2008, when he interviewed the head of Bear Stearns, said there was no problem at Bear Stearns. Everything was okay at Bear Stearns.
Mm-hmm.
My question to you is, where is Bear Stearns today?
He was telling you to buy on Wednesday while their stock went out of plummeted and went out of business on Saturday. You remember that? It was a
That's what I'm
Wednesday. He was
talking
telling you to
about.
buy Bear Stearns.
That's what I'm saying. So fundamentals are full of fables, Aesop's fables. Okay. Now, as far as the technicals are concerned, the technicals have not changed. Just the nature and what makes up those technicals has changed. Price action at the end of the day is everything. Everything is price. Everything can be deduced to raw price. However, the raw price is made up of machines. All right. Therefore, you have to know the program. You have to know the code. You have to know the algorithm to compete with said machine, to benefit from said machine. Sometimes certain chart patterns and things play themselves out in repetitious fashion. And sometimes your golden cross will work out, sometimes it will not. You need to know when those times are. How do you know? How do you know something's bottom or something's topped? The algorithms tell you that.
Yep.
Sometimes your technical analysis won't tell you until after the fact, well after the fact. You see what I'm saying? So there are limitations with your traditional technical analysis. I'm just saying. So, at any rate, I'm off that. Let's move on. uh, you were gonna ask me something else. I know it was something after the thing with the hedge funds. What was that?
Oh no, I was going to ask you how what are the things looking? I had some coding coming through saying that we're looking at perhaps a summer turnaround for silver and gold. What are you seeing?
Mm, I would love to believe that. I really would. I would love to. I would love to believe that. Okay, first of all, since we're talking about silver and gold, okay, last week the market was able to muster up enough strength to meet our target, which was great. Remember those numbers I gave you when I was on the show?
Yep.
And I told you, well, we needed to close in order to maintain and spill over that bullishness into the following week. Well, the market did that. All right. And gold right now is trying to maintain that bullish momentum so we can get to 1300 on that, and that's the target. Well, so far, I also told you about the NASDAQ 100. The NASDAQ 100 target was reached today. We hit 5803. I do believe there was a guy on your show not long ago telling you that the NASDAQ was going to hit 5800 long before it got here. I wonder who
Yep.
that was.
Some guy who called himself the Vulcan.
Yeah, I think he changed his name to the Algocapitalist. That's what I
See,
think.
I think that's exactly what it is.
And right now, as we speak, the Nasdaq 100 is at 5,800. Who else called the Nasdaq 5,800? Anybody on
Uh,
YouTube? You know, I don't know. I don't know anyone that gave that specific call. I don't know.
uh,
I also
Billy
told you
Bob's Trading
guys.
House did. Billy Bob's Trading House.
He's the Billy Bob. The only thing that's kind of weird right now, though, I'll be honest. The thing that's weird is the other news piece about the same hedge fund people. The reason they gave for closing up shop is because they were saying a market crash collapse is coming. Well, that's analogous to me saying, you know what? I have some devastating news. You're not going to hear this news anywhere else. Stay tuned to the Trading Terrordome with Dex The Algocapitalist and Vince, the guerrilla economist, because you're not going to hear this anywhere else. Anywhere else. And for those of you who are tuning in right now, you get to witness this live. I'm about to spill something. This is more devastating than WikiLeaks or anything else. This truth has been kept from the world populace forever.
Yep.
You know what this truth is?
No, what's that?
Everyone on the planet right now is dying.
Yeah, we're all dying. We're all gonna die. Death rate's
All
one
right.
to one. We're all gonna make it.
See, I just told you something that no one else knew. Again, that's the analogous of that. Okay. So, what am I saying? At the end of the day, a broken clock is right twice a day, right?
Right.
Well, they're saying, oh, this collapse is coming. Dude, every time they say collapse, what happens?
Goes up
We
higher.
hit a new high,
Yep.
man. this thing came out a few days ago, and here we are, Nasdaq 5,800. The Dow is well over 21,000 now, and the S&P is over 2,400. 2,400 is where the S&P is right now. Can y'all say it with me? 2,400.
100.
All right. So my thing is, when are they going to say, you know what, I was wrong? Let me just close up shop. All right. And for all those people say, oh, Bitcoin bottom, Bitcoin bottom. It's come back already. Really? You mean it's at 2,800 right now? Oh, it's not. Okay, then it hasn't come back then. 2,200 is not the same as 2,800. If you believe that it is, then why don't we do this? You give me 2,800, and then I'll give you 2,200 back. How about that? Since 2,200 is more than 2,800. Anybody game for that? You give me the 2,800 first, and then I'll give you back 2,200. All right. I didn't think so. So, therefore, we're not back yet. We're still several $100 off of those highs. I warned everybody on your show to take profit along the way. If you are still long, it's your fault that you didn't get out near those highs when I told you to tighten up your stops. You can lead people to the water, but you can't make them fart. You know?
What? You can lead people to water.
Just
You
wanted
are
to
a
see if you was
weirdo.
listening.
Oh man. Uh,
You
this is what
know I'm a
happens,
nut.
yo. This is what happens in the Trading Terrordome is the day after a vacation, after a holiday.
Exactly.
Just
I
this
get
is what
extra silly. Now, all right, now back on track now. Okay, on silver though, we still haven't got that $18. We need that this week too for the gold. Let me just give this to you on the weekly. Gold just needs to close above 1257.10. We should not have no problem with that. We should not have any problem with 1257.10. All right, that's gold. That's what we need. It's a shortened trading week, so we shouldn't have no problem doing this. Fair to do this will open up the banks to act really, 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 really ridiculous. And they will come in and they will smash. Hawk smash. All right, silver though looks frightening. All right, it looks very attractive for a Hawk smash. All right, we need to close above 1712 this week in order to keep the momentum locked in for bullishness for next week. All right, so I've given you guys the numbers. Now you know what we're looking for. All right, failure to do so would bring the hammer, and I think silver has the potential for a Hawk smash worse than gold. I mean, a straight up face rippage. Like when you pull the meat back so hard, you decapitate the victim. I'm talking
it's like
about
that.
a straight up finish him move. All right, fatality. All right, that's what I'm talking about. That's the setup. If you look at the chart right now on the silver, the weekly chart on the silver is screaming, "I dare you to short me." That's what it's saying. And if we don't hold this pattern, that's exactly what's going to happen. Now, if we hold this momentum forward, I got good news. We hold the momentum forward and we close above that momentum line I gave you of 1712 this week, then what will happen is we have now the possibility to have $18 in play. And the $18 should be reached within the next 2.5 to 3 weeks in silver. We should be at $18. That translates to gold with the potential to be at over 1,300. All right, so we got a 2.5 to 3 week time frame from now of where we are right now. Okay, if we're able to do that, then we'll be off to the races, and we could possibly see the beginning of a mega summer rally in metals. All right. Will that translate into the Bitcoin? I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, all I can say is I trade what I see. Um, Bitcoin has had an incredible move. It's, you got profit
Ethereum,
taking going on.
Ether's doing the same thing, dog. That's what's amazing.
Yeah, the Ethereum, like I said, I'm putting that together now. I'll be able to speak more authoritatively on that once I do. Since I don't have it up and running yet, I can't say nothing. I did peep the historical data on it, and I have to say it has been pretty impressive. It's been doing pretty good. Um, but at the end of the day, too, you guys, that's another thing too. We don't know. At the end of the day, we can predict, we can prognosticate. It's fun. I enjoy it, but we have to trade what we see at the time. So, as far as this whole, Bitcoin to the moon, gold and silver to the moon, I believe at the end of the day, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Hmm.
I do believe that the Bitcoin, the Ethereum, the gold, and the silver will be priceless. I
Hmm.
think the prices are going to go so high they're going to be considered priceless.
Mm.
Like I told you, I think the 1,000% return. I think I was way off. I think I was lowballing it. It could be a 10,000, 100,000% return, and all you need is for certain truths to come out about the said above mentions, and then that's when things are going to go gangbusters. So if you've made a lot of money in the Bitcoin and Ethereum and Litecoin, use some of that to continue stacking your gold and silver, man,
Hmm.
because you're going to need it. Now, here's a caveat for you guys: you can document these things. When I tell you things, you should document them, guys, because then later on you can go back and you can look and see, well, man, he did say this then. All right, here we go. If the so-called Wall Street insiders of these hedge funds that closed up shop today and said there's a collapse coming, run, okay? If that happens, it's not because they said so. It's not because they so-called had insider information per se. If it happens, it's one of two things. It's something that's being picked up with the algorithms, and I'll tell you, corrections coming, and they'll use that to their advantage, and it'll be a cascading event, people profit taking, or there's something planned that is nefarious to bring down the markets. I've been saying that for a long time. I don't believe that the markets are just going to naturally go down on their own. I think they're going to be taken down. All right. And then some people get the word that it's about to take place and they're allowed to get out of the way. You feel me?
I
So
feel
they
you.
get out. They're able to get out. And everyone else is holding the bag and gets their face ripped off. I do not believe that the markets are going to go down by just naturally on their own. I think the stock market is parabolic right now. The stock market is parabolic. Bitcoin is parabolic. All right, and I don't. You just don't change a parabolic market. A market that's a
Yeah.
runaway market like these markets have been. They don't just turn on a dime. All right, that's a lot of energy in there. That means we haven't seen the highs yet. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Now, if something nefarious happens this year and this stock market goes down hard body, you better believe it's being done on purpose. And these hedge funds, they were really smart. I can't believe they closed up shop and left. No, they were stupid. If they were a mutual fund, I could see them going into as much cash position as possible in light of such a thing. But if you're a hedge fund, why are you running away from a bear market? You should be able to make twice as much money in a bear market as you did on a bull market, because all you have to do is get short.
Yeah.
So there's something more to it than that. If they're getting, if they're packing up shop and leaving town, it's not because a bear market's coming. It's because something far worse than that is coming.
Mm.
and they're leaving town. They're packing up and bouncing. Because any trader, any hedge fund that trades and makes their money trading, they can't wait for there to be a bear market. Are you kidding me? Yeah, you make money when the market's bullish. Oh yeah, it's easy. You just buy a stock. Doesn't matter what the stock is. Buy some stocks, make money. But in a bear market, if you do it right, you can be short at the highs and just keep shorting all the way down. Sell, 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 sell. Okay. So why are they running? You don't run from a bear market if you are a trader. You love bear markets because you get to sell.
Right.
All right. You get to
Right.
just set up short the heck out of the stocks that you can find. You go and you buy put options on everything you can find.
Act.
All right. And with Forex, you can sell the bejesus out of Forex. All right. You don't have to worry. It's not like shorting stocks. It's way easier. You can short the dollar, go long the dollar. You can likewise with Bitcoin. You can short Bitcoin. You can go long the Bitcoin. Why are you running from a bear market if you're a trading company? That's not what they do. That's not what we do. If they're running, you should ask yourself this question: where are they going and why are they leaving the market? Are you saying that this is not a bear market that's coming, but the end of all markets that's coming? What are you really saying? You feel me what I'm saying?
I feel you,
So
dog.
that's the
You know what I'm
question everybody needs to be asking. And I don't see nobody asking that question. Instead, they're just parroting the narrative. Oh, stock market crash is coming.
No, there's no crash coming. You know what? You know what I think is happening. I think when you look at most of these hedge funds, a lot of them, again, the nature of hedging, right?
Mhm.
How can hedge funds compete in a market where right now you're looking at um, where performance is driving everything? Well, I'm sorry, it's not performance, volume that's driving everything, and it's getting harder and harder to chase and or guarantee yields. And when you look at the fact that most of these hedge funds that are like going, belly up right now, or decided to, pulling out,
Mhm.
isn't it funny that their exposure to real estate derivatives are through the roof?
Mhm.
There's a serious correlation there, man. I mean, we've seen like two of the biggest mortgage brokers in Canada go belly up.
Right.
We've seen this All Star Investments in Australia, which again is heavy on real estate. That's the segment that we're that early this morning I was talking about it. And I want people really focus in on because there's a major real estate correction coming without a doubt. I think it's and how's the market going to counter with the downturn in home prices? Well, it's going to be you know higher interest rates, which are creeping up, but lending requirements again, dude. I think we're going to see subprime 3.0, bro.
Well, here's my thing. Now, I've long said that the real estate game is over.
It is.
Okay. Now, there are pockets of prosperity,
Yep.
all right, scattered throughout the country. Little pockets, you can do a little something, something.
Hmm.
But as a whole, the way that it was back in 06, 07, oh, no, 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 no. No, I don't think we will ever see that again. So, from that perspective, the game is over. If it was not over, and you're saying that it's still the same as it was in 06 and 07, you and I probably wouldn't be able to do this broadcast because we wouldn't have time
Right.
because we'd be in the game. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Nah,
The money
man,
was butter. Was the money not butter back then? Come on.
dude, it was
Was it not
beyond
butter?
butter. Yeah,
It was
beyond butter.
greasy. It was
It was so
greasy.
good, I could not believe it's not butter.
Dude, the money was so good, I would pay some of my people in cash.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh, that was some gangster stuff right there. You
Yeah,
need the
man.
proper.
That and the double signature paychecks.
Man, I'm telling you, dude, it was all that.
Hmm.
Now, don't get me wrong. I hated the thing, even though I speak, in reminiscence like that. I hated the game, always had. I only did it for the money. I've never said otherwise. I like the markets. That's where my mind and my stuff was always at, even when I was doing that. And so nothing can compare to these markets, in my opinion. Even though I made good money doing that, I made my most money in the markets, hands down, without question. But the real estate game is over, people. I'm so sorry to have to tell you that. The house flipping, flip this house, flip that house, this old house, all the TV shows I used to watch, and I know y'all did too. Flip this house, flip that house, and this old house. Used to watch it, used to love it, and the game's over. It's not coming back, people. I'm sorry if someone told you otherwise. It's not coming back. The government talked about trying to bring it back. All right, they talked about bringing back those 125% and 150% loans. Yes, they did exist. For those of you who don't know, they did exist. Yes, they did.
Yep. I used
I
to
know
shell them
because
out,
I
man.
I closed some of those loans.
Hmm.
All right, that's not coming back. Sorry to
Yep.
tell you, it's not coming back. Now I'll tell you what is going to happen. All right, y'all ready for this? All right, they have been tossing around these planned communities, like redoing the ghetto, but making
Yeah.
it lovely and sticking all of you people up in there.
Yep.
I'm dead serious. All this regentrification and things like that. How they're
I see it
moving.
happening. I see it happening in some of the most decrepit river towns in New York. Like you go up
Yeah,
all these river towns. Some of them are nice. Some of them are straight up ghetto. And you got these yuppies from Brooklyn that are buying out these six-family homes, renovating and whatnot. But surrounding is like crack houses, and they're trying to regentrify everything.
yeah.
Good.
Someone heard someone say that out in Brooklyn, as far as Brownsville, right? Aren't they redoing? I mean,
They're redoing everything, man. It's
I
crazy.
mean, come on, man. The hardest of the hard places in the world are
Yep.
now being fixed up. They couldn't do that when the people were living there. They wait for them to leave and then they do it.
Yep.
But as someone so elegantly just wrote in the live chat, there is no housing market without a job market. And
Correct.
that's straight up. All right. That is straight up. There's no housing market without a job market. That's why they're tossing around this universal income. As a matter of fact, what was we watching? Um, oh, Black Mirror. If you guys have never seen Black Mirror,
That's the one on Netflix, bro. Right?
yes, man. Oh
I
my
heard it was
goodness.
good.
Now it's the modern day Twilight Zone with a technology twist. Everything's
Nice.
about technology, but it's the Twilight Zone
Nice.
of technology. And there was this one episode on there that I was watching over the holidays, and it spoke to this right here.
Mm.
Basically, the episode, even though it wasn't about this part was true. Basically, there were no jobs. Everyone's job, per se, was to beef up their numbers in their social media. That's what your job was. Your social media became your credit report. Your social media became your resume. Everything revolved around your social media. And every
Wow.
person had points and things of that nature.
You know, keep going, man. I was talking about that like 3 years ago, bro. 4 years ago. Keep going. Keep going. This is getting
All right.
interesting.
So, for instance, um, because you have more subscribers than me on YouTube,
Hmm.
you would be richer and more powerful than me. And you would be able to, like, fly first class on the plane. I might be able to, but it would depend on what their threshold was. If you had like 100,000 friends on Facebook, you would be in a class way above someone that only had 100 friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
And every person had points and things like that. And I'm telling you, That is what they are kicking around and planning right now, because that's the only way that they cannot. It's not to prevent a collapse, but to prevent a societal uproar and civil war. See, you're not going to show up to the elite with pitchforks, all right, if they're feeding you. So as long as you're getting this universal income and you can still afford to be a consumer and consume all the things that you wish to consume, then you're good to go. And that's where they're going. And then once they have everyone chilling and living in this Camelot environment, then you know what you have to do. Because remember, at the end of the day, it's still a farm. They're the farmers, and we're the farm animals. And we're also, some of us are the animals, some of us are vegetables. And what do you do in the spring? Those of you who know what I'm talking about. Spring has to come. And at some point, spring comes, and when spring comes, what do you hear? What kind of sounds do you hear on a farm in the spring? Does anyone know?
The chickens are clucking, the goat and the sheep are bleeding, and the cows are mooing Dex.
You're on the right track, but no, it's a little bit more horrific than that. What you
Are you talking
hear,
about?
what you hear is the sound of the cows wailing, crying, weeping,
Mm,
shouting, distressed because their little babies are being snatched from them. Yes, the slaughterhouse. See, the people in the live chat, you guys are the greatest listeners on the planet. You're the smartest and the greatest listeners on the planet. Slaughterhouse, baby.
what about the slaughterhouse?
It's in full effect when the spring comes.
Well, for the markets?
And so is the little babies being snatched from their mommies because they are going to be taken somewhere else and they're going to be fattened up. We call them theater cattle.
Mm.
And there's a futures market for feeder cattle, fat and heavy and plump, full of meat, ready to be slaughtered. So at
I like
some point
ribeye.
you have to cull the herd. At some point, the vegetables have to be plucked from the field, right? The potatoes have to be uprooted. So that's what you have once they build this Camelot. Everybody ain't just gonna be chilling in Camelot. At some point, they're gonna have to cull the herd. And you know the easiest way to do that that's not as messy as dropping a bomb. They don't have to do that no more. All they have to do is poison the people with biological weapons, food, air, and water, like they've been doing.
So
Cull
you're
the
saying
herd.
this spring they're gonna release a bioagent?
I said no such thing. I said no such thing. You didn't hear that from me. You didn't
Oh,
hear
what do
that
you
from
mean?
me.
Hold on. What are you talking about? what, what are you talking? You know what's gonna happen this year? Nothing.
What's that?
Nothing's happening this year. And you know what's happening in the spring? Nothing. What do you mean they're gonna release a bioagent?
Nothing is happening this year. Everyone go back to sleep. There's nothing to see here. There's nothing to see here. Everything is okay. It's okay.
Dex,
Okay?
stop freaking people out, man.
Napoleon Pig is your leader. He's going to take care of you. It's
Hey,
okay.
4 legs are equal to 2 legs. Some legs are more. It's just that some legs are more equal. You're crazy, man. You're just bugging out.
Oh man, you right on time. I can't put nothing over you. Can I?
No, you can't, man.
That was my cartoon right there, man. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I see I'm talking to a mirror right here. All right. Look, it doesn't matter if all the rules and laws are 1,000 feet in the air, and some of you can't read the rules and the laws? Doesn't matter. You still have to abide by them. Doesn't matter. But it's okay. Napoleon Pig, who you voted for, is going to take care of you. All right? Why do you think all the German Shepherds and Pit Bulls are on his side? You know, he needs them to protect you animals from the mean farmer. That mean farmer's come and he's going to snatch your younglings away. All right? And he's going to eat some of you. So as long as we have these pit bulls and these German shepherds, all right, then we're going to be kept safe. All right? Now, let me remind you, all right, if you go too far across, you know, these little picket fences that we put out here for you, the dogs are going to have to eat you. Now, I mean, it's for your own safety. Okay? It's for your own safety. Remember, the farmers out there.
Dex is getting all cryptic on us right now. What are you saying?
All I'm saying is everything is okay. Just
all right, then.
Relax and chill out, people. It's okay. I mean, like I said, come on. We are the most powerful country in the world.
No, we're not.
We have the greatest military on the planet.
No, we don't.
And we have the most loving judicial system, police force, military.
Hey, speaking of this, hey, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love it. You just brought up judicial system and just reminded me. Now, my mentor on the debt side of things, right?
Mhm.
The guy who's the absolute man when it comes to like protecting assets. He's done it for like millionaires and extremely wealthy people. Dude, I didn't realize this, but our court system is really a financialized banking system. And what I mean by that is this: like, you go get a judgment. Let's just say any judgment, whatever it is. Let's just say the city of DC versus Dex, and there was a summary judgment for like $20,000 and sitting on the docket in the courthouse. Did you realize this? If I go into that courtroom and I request a docket number from the county clerk's office as a matter of public record,
yes,
and they pull up that judgment against you, and let's say it's like for 20 grand or whatever, there's an additional number that I could request. And it's a really long, so I think it's called a universal something number. I forgot the exact name of it. He told me this.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, if you look that up, if you punch it into a trading computer, that number,
mm-hmm.
that judgment will come out as a financialized derivative.
Correct.
Did you know that?
Yes.
It's crazy, bro. They're trading people's judgments on freaking Wall Street, which makes sense because when you look at every municipal courthouse in the country, they're all on Dun and Bradstreet as a corporation.
Yes.
Dude, it's a freaking rabbit hole.
No, come on now. They only do that because they love you and they care about you and they want to see you prosper and they want to see you get everything that you're entitled to. This is the home of the free and the land of the brave.
Or as the family member once says, the land of make-believe and the home of the slave.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, you're making jokes, but come on, man. You know that the military-industrial complex loves you. And the only reason why they're stockpiling all these bullets and giving them to government agencies that don't even carry firearms is because they want to keep you safe. Now, okay, we're going to have to take some more rights away, but isn't it worth it to be safe?
Yes.
And don't you want this universal income so you don't have to work so hard?
Right.
At Best Buy?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to work so hard at Best Buy, Vince. And I shouldn't have to work so hard at Walmart.
Exactly.
Okay? So
that's right.
I want them to bring peace and safety.
But I'm really a fry cook at McDonald's, bro. Let's just put it out there. Full disclosure. I mean,
yeah, no, I make the fries that you cook. I know. I sell.
I'm the guy who gets the soda at the drive-through machine. I'm the one who gets everybody soda.
You got promoted to soda?
Yeah, and I take a sip of the soda before I hand it to people too.
Wow. Look, man, I'm telling you
Could you
guys.
imagine you and I working fast food, bro? We'd have Rick Ross's "Every Day I'm Hustling" playing in the background. It'd be like that Cat Williams skit.
Hey, real talk. I used to back during high school. Yes, I did. I was the number one salesman.
For what?
All those like coupons and stuff that they would have you suggestive sell people in the drive-through.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I literally single-handedly sold all the cases our store had, and they bought other cases from other stores that they couldn't sell to bring, and I moved all those too.
That's what's up.
So here's my thing. I've always had to hustle. I didn't. My philosophy was don't let nobody outwork you.
Yep.
So I never let nobody outwork me. If you're gonna be standing next to me, you ain't gonna outwork me. You know what I'm saying? It's a competition. That's my work ethic. That's how strong I bring it. Is because I wanted to be the best, and no matter what I did. So you know, it's funny, V, because we do these shows, right? And we spit wisdom to people, and we give them, you know, all that we can. And some people laugh and say these people are obnoxious, they're stupid, they don't know what they're talking about. But then when they see the manifestation of everything that we've said come to pass,
Oh, that's because we're reading off of other people's work, Dex. That's what's going on.
yeah, someone actually
Because
asked me that.
we're stealing somebody else's information months before they actually write it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So yeah, someone said, "Oh, you wasn't the only one that said that Bitcoin was going to go here, or that." Well, I was the only one that I heard saying it. So if you heard someone say it, they didn't make it public because I didn't see it. It's funny because when you tell people that this is what's coming, they don't want to hear it.
Nope.
And then they say, okay, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. No, the U.S. is just going to turn inwardly, and quietly, and they're just going to, start minding their own business and things of that nature. That's what's going to happen. People don't want to believe what's being said. But no, real talk. I spoke to you guys in parables because I wanted you to understand what I was saying. I wanted you to think about it.
Thank you,
If I just
Jesus.
came out and said, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, or this is about to happen, this is a process happen, you wouldn't be able to process it. So I want you guys to really go back and listen to this broadcast because I dropped a lot of jewels that I wanted you guys to do the knowledge to. And I'm telling you, as far as these rate hikes, don't believe the hype. Do you want to know when a rate hike is coming before everybody else does? I'll tell you. It's a very easy secret. If you follow me on YouTube for any number of time, you've seen me do it. All right, look at the bond market, look at the bond futures. Okay. When you see that the bond futures price is in a downtrend channel, a rate hike is on the horizon. If you see the prices in an uptrend channel, a rate hike is far away. It's just that simple. They cannot go against math. Math says that 1 plus 1 is 2. All
No,
right.
not Common Core math. I don't know what you're talking about, Dex. Common Core math could be whatever the heck you want it to be. And oh, dude, we got like 2 more minutes left, so wrap it up, dude. Sorry
All
about
right.
that.
So
Time flies when we're having fun.
the higher the bond prices go, the lower the yields must go. The lower the bond prices go, the higher the yields must go. So that's how you know when the rate hike is coming. It's not rocket science. That's just math, people. All right. If you guys want to know more specifics, then come on over and postwavetrading.com.
Yep.
Learn what the central banks don't want you to know. Learn how to be able to time these markets. Learn how to profit off of what's going to come or what may not come. You can profit off of both of them. And I will show you how to do that with the post wave price triggers. We have a learning academy so you can learn about technical analysis, learn about algorithms. I'm in the process of writing the second volume to that first installment as well. And you will really benefit yourself learning how to time stacking. And now that we're adding Ethereum and Litecoin to the weekly pulse waves as well, you'll be able to time this thing beautifully. And I just encourage you guys to, invest in yourself. Come on over to
That's it.
pulsewavetrading.com.
That's what's up. And with that being said, I am the gorilla, and my man CJ is working the airwaves in the background with the mute button on so we don't hear him. With that being said, we are over and we are out. Take it away,
Peace.
CJ.